Hey, I guess. Hello. I know this is different from my usual content.
I be popping. Sparkles and
As you can see if you stalk my YouTube, but I decided to turn over a new leaf and try and help others achieve something in their college careers, specific to government related things. I'm going to be talking about how I won the DoD SMART Scholarship as a freshman. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah. I am a freshman in computer engineering, and I'm also serving in the International Guard, and I've landed a couple nice internships like this one. So today I'll be helping freshmen or anyone. I actually applied for this last year as a high school senior and basically instantly got rejected, so. But I think there was a lot of differences in the way that I approached the scholarship, and that's really what helped me do well this year. Because I hear it's kind of harder to get the scholarship as a freshman. From what I've seen, it's mostly like sophomores and juniors. So if you've never heard of the scholarship, it's called the Department of War SMART Scholarship, which is basically a scholarship that'll fund full tuition for college and then give you an annual stipend as long as you intern for them, like every summer between college, and then afterward you'll be working for them for that number of years. It's a big deal, honestly. I think last year the acceptance rate was on 8%, so it's definitely competitive. Last year when I applied, I was a senior in high school, still not sure where I was going to college, and also had really no connection with government related things. Hence I got rejected like very quickly. So, but this year what I did was, actually in between the cycle of which I applied, I actually enlisted in the Air National Guard. So I honestly believe that was a huge factor in my acceptance because, and I'll touch upon this later, but just having a government background was super important. But you know, it's still possible to get it even if you don't have that. I know a lot of people who got the scholarship this year and didn't have any kind of military or federal government experience. So the first thing, and I believe this is like most important to getting the scholarship, is showing interest in a government position, because this scholarship is funded by the Department of War, so very government intertwined, and the research that you'll be doing is all government connected. So showing that you want to do this in the future, even after your work requirement ends, is very important. Because what I do know is that a lot of these SMART scholars who get this scholarship are intending to work for that research facility after their service commitment is done. So that's why they're looking long-term for applicants who are not only going to do the internships, but afterward come back and hopefully retain those scholars. So that is super important. I think that's also why I was selected, because I showed a very big interest in working for government after graduation, and I also made sure to talk about that along with my passions in the interview process, which is when you become like a semi-finalist, I guess. Next is when you're applying, you should be researching your facilities, but make sure that you're looking by degree and also by discipline, because once you're on the SMART portal, you'll be able to see you can choose your 3 sponsoring facilities for your top picks, and when you're given those options, you can also see a list or like a map of all the facilities that are participating in the program. So this is what you should do. Last year when I applied, I was like, what's close to me? And I submitted those 3, and I didn't really like research them at all. But I would say when you're looking for facilities, distance, if that's important to you, then yeah, you should also take that into consideration. But make sure that you're clicking on each facility, and it'll show the percent breakdown by degree. So you'll see that some facilities have a lot of PhD students, while some have more like bachelor's or master's degrees. And if you're underclassmen like me, or just in college as an undergrad, you want to find facilities that are looking for that degree type. So bachelor's, if they have a high percentage of that, that's really good. Not only that, you need to make sure that they're looking for your degree type. So it's also on the SMART website where it shows what kind of majors they have. So obviously, if you're doing something computer science related, you want to do something computer science, a facility that is focused on that. And if you're doing something more chemical or civil, look for facilities that are also doing that, because that'll increase your chances of getting the scholarship. Okay. The next part, I'm gonna kind of talk more about my interview. So the interview process was pretty simple, actually. I got one interview from my selecting facility, which is in Aberdeen, Maryland, and just completed the interview online on a Zoom call, and it was really simple, actually. What they told me was that there could be more facilities that would reach out and interview me, but I actually didn't get any, so I guess that was okay. And what I've also heard is that even if you don't get interviews, there's still a chance that you can be selected, so don't be too worried if that doesn't happen for you. In my interviews, the best thing I did was show genuine passion and curiosity. So yeah, that is like super important, more than like your grades or anything. But if you're truly interested in what you're going to be working on and researching, then that means a lot to your facility. That's actually what I asked my interviewer. When he asked if I had any questions, I said, like, what are you looking for in a typical candidate? And that's basically what he said. Someone who has genuine desire to learn, because we don't really know what we're doing when we're like underclassmen, but just showing interest in that field and a desire to learn more will go a long way. Another thing I did was, you can show that passion not just by verbalizing it, but showing it through projects you've done. So for me, I took a big interest in radio frequency related projects, and that's what I made sure to look for in my facility. And then once I did that, I actually did some projects on my own time. It was just like really small things. It doesn't have to be like crazy, like crazy award-winning, like state-of-the-art top projects. Just something that shows you have some sort of curiosity in that was very important. So that's exactly what I told them, where I'm interested in this project that I did, and that shows that. And then I'm also looking into this organization that does stuff like that, and that was like very good for me. I would also say that don't just look at the SMART website. I would look for that facility and see if they have a website, and research on that and see what kind of work they're doing, and also recent work and their mission, their values, stuff like that, and make sure you can tailor that to you in your interview. So make sure to maybe mention something that they're working on and show that that's something you would like to contribute to. Just show how it aligns with what you want to do. And yeah, and if you don't win it the first time around, that's okay. I didn't win it the first time around, and it was what it is. But you just have to keep applying. That is my biggest piece of advice for anyone trying to get an internship, is that you need to really be persistent. Like, get in their faces, just like don't spam. Apply to everything you see. Doesn't matter if you don't think you're qualified, because you never know where it's gonna go. And that has been huge in my ability to land internships, because they say it's really competitive out there. It is. You have to apply to a ton of internships, but like, if you have that persistence, you need that persistence, passion, and motivation. As long as you show that in projects you've done, in your interviews, in course selection, just make sure that all pieces of your application are kind of forming a cohesive argument about what you're looking forward to doing. So that will be very helpful for you. So yeah, hope you can win the SMART Scholarship too. But if anyone has any questions, if anyone watches my video, then please feel free to reach out, DM me. I can answer stuff about my experience, but I just want to add one disclaimer that this is what worked for me, and what worked for me might not work for everyone, because you know, everyone's application is different and facilities are different. But in my experience, this is what worked, and yeah, so thank you. Bye bye.